Hi everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome to my channel. Here we talk about my crafting journey, which usually revolves around cross stitch, but usually there's some knitting and or crochet thrown in. This week I just have crochet and knitting. Last Sunday I started knitting a hat and I was going to be working on the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by Stitching Book Club on Facebook. So here we go. Let's get started. If you remember from last week, I know that was a whole week ago and sometimes it can be hard to remember. I started working on a hat, the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague, for a friend at church using Earwax by lolodidit. This is from the Quotable Dumbledore Club from a few years ago. I think I finished up my club I can't remember if it was just before COVID started. I think October, November of 2019, or if it was in 2020. I can't remember. But so this is, I'm saying that just to say that this is several years old. She has released a couple of the colors onto the main website, so you can always check there. Sign up for her newsletter if you're interested in seeing all of her pretty colors. She does all kinds of different themed dyed yarn. So the Ysolda Teague pattern, if you're not familiar, is basically a stocking cap that is double thick. You make it double thick by knitting a big long tube and then folding it into each other. And it is really, really great. The pattern is written with so much information so you can have any gauge and figure out what you're up to. So I highly recommend the pattern. If you're going to buy any pattern, this is the one that in my opinion, this is the one that you should buy. No, I do not get any proceeds from selling any patterns. I just think it's a really great pattern. It's a great staple and it's easy to knit because it's just knitting in the round. And sometimes that can be lovely. So I started this last week and I had about 1 inch to 1.5 inches past the increases. And this is how much I have done for this week. I have not measured this yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I am at least halfway done. Like I said, you knit a long tube because it's going to fold in on itself and be double thick. So I'm thinking I'm at least halfway done with this one. I am knitting this on my 16-inch circulars, I believe US size 3. The lighting in here is difficult to read this, but I believe that they're US size 3. Check the description box below because I will make sure that the information is in there. Oops, I'm getting all tangled. So yeah, I am making some really great progress on this. I'm knitting this on my lunch breaks. I am knitting this while I'm in the car. Sometimes in the evening, I just have a feeling of like, ugh, and I cross stitch a little bit and then I'm done. Especially this week, and we'll get to that. But mostly I've knit on this in the car. Today was the day that I had to go to church to do broadcast team, and so I got a lot of knitting there. We didn't get out in time to ride with my husband on the van to drop the ladies back off that ride on the van. But we had to wait for him. We left the church building and he wasn't back yet. So I did knit quite a bit in the car too, waiting for him to come back. I ate a cookie, so then my hands got sticky and I couldn't continue, but so this one is going quite nicely. Hopefully just another week on that and I can get started on other things. We'll talk about the other things coming up as well. So the cross stitch then, getting to cross stitching for the last week, I was stitching on the WIP Wheel Chose, Narnia, the Chronicles on Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This, like I said earlier, this was a stitch along from the Stitching Book Club. It's been a while. I lost interest right after the first week. I didn't even finish the first week, I don't think. And I had no interest of keeping up. Sometimes that happens with me just because I feel pressured into keeping up. But this one was because of all the color changes. Now, don't get me wrong. The pattern is really pretty. It's just I am not a color changing person. This is 3 stitches of this color, 5 stitches of this color. Then you're going to do a whole bunch of this color, but then you're back to this color for 3 stitches. I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous. But I know that there's plenty of people that love this kind of stitching. And like I said, it is really pretty. So I'm going to persevere and get this done. I did get progress done on this. I put stitches in every single day except for yesterday, Saturday, October 8th. Every other day this week, Sunday through Friday, I did put in stitches. Some days might have been a little bit of stitches, some a little bit more. It's not nearly the amount of stitches that I usually get into my project, but I'll show you anyway. So here is my complete progress so far on Chronicles of Narnia. I had 4 stitches in this band going across. I finished that band, finished the band underneath of it, put in these 2 little things just because I needed a point of reference to count down. And then this is complete here. That's all that is. And then I started the band going underneath. It's another one like this. I started that band again for counting. I put in the purple one, which is almost finished. I put in the blue underneath of it, which again is almost finished. I need another point of reference on the bottom so I can go across. And then I started this. And whatever you want to call this, it's mirrored on the other side as well. And then there's some trees and, like I said, Mr. Thomas and the light pole in there as well. There's a lot of back stitching in that center section because it has the names of the children in there. Underneath of Narnia, it's what's it say? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is all back stitched. So there's quite a bit more. There's a lot of stitching in that bottom section, but then a lot of the other 2 sections is back stitching. So I'm not going to say that I'm 50% done, but I did get some progress on this week for sure. When it comes up again, I will get some more progress. But like I said, it's one of those projects where you just think about stitching it, and I didn't want to. The one day I was stitching and I put in a stitch and I was just having a temper tantrum and I put it down and I didn't touch it for the rest of the night. And I know I'm being fussy. It's probably really not that bad, but it's just not something that I want to do. So that was the week on that. Then this morning I actually did it last night, so I was prepared for this morning. I did the WIP wheel to see what my project for this week was going to be. And it came up Prairie Schooler Witching Hour. And I was looking at it and I said, wow, I'm going to get another finish this week. I don't have that much to do. I just have this. I'm going to get this done. And then after church, I opened up my project and I found that this is all I had done. For some reason, I was misremembering and thought I had there's a tree on this side, a tree on this side, and a house in the middle. I thought I had all of that done. So my bubble was burst on this one, but at least I like working on this one. So I did so far this afternoon put in 2 strands of floss in this tree. The tree was barely started. So I put 2 strands there. I'm going to continue working on the tree, but I think I'm going to bounce back and forth to try to help with the monotony of the black, even though most of the pattern is black, to the house and the tree, the house, the tree, the house, the tree, and then work myself up. Because there's right here, there's 2 bats. I already did the smoke coming out of the chimney. If I did the 2 bats, then I can knock out the alphabet. So sometimes if you can do something like that and it'll make you feel like you've made more progress than what you really did. But that's a big alphabet. So if I could get that done and the bats and the tree, I think that would be quite a bit for 1 week. But I don't know. The tree is bigger than what you anticipate it to be too. So it could literally take me all week just to get the tree done. Both of these cross stitch pieces this week are 28 count Monaco. The Narnia is white, and I think this is antique white. It's just a little, it's not ivory for sure, but I think it's antique white. I have a whole bunch of this that's set aside for Prairie Schooler charts, Halloween charts. I cut it in advance and set it aside so that way I knew I had enough for the charts that I already had on hand. Okay, so hopefully I get some good progress on that. I definitely will not be able to finish the house just because it's quite large. I am using the called for DMC floss for both of these charts as well. I tend to use the called for charts for Prairie Schooler. Every once in a while I will change one, but generally speaking, I will stick with what she charted. Okay, so speaking of back to the Dumbledore Club, this is one, I hope that you can see the true picture. I can't see the viewfinder, so I don't know if the color's coming up. It's kind of, it's purple, and it has a red undertone to it, and a warm undertone instead of a cool undertone. You can see some of the red in here, and it's almost, parts of it in the right lighting, it almost looks neon purple. And so I thought of this yarn when this pattern came out this week, and so did my husband. He said, hey, that would be really cool. So I bought the pattern because it was on sale for its debut this week, I think on Thursday and Friday. It still may be on sale. It's by Telly Bean Knits. It's called Halloween Hearts, I believe. So yesterday we had to go through Saginaw, and I said, let's stop at SVRC Marketplace because I can almost guarantee you that she has a Cascade Heritage that will go with this. And I was right. Here we go. I don't know if these have color names or if just numbers. It looks like the color number is 5722. And that's probably all we're going to get. Oops, I just popped this off. Okay. So this is Cascade Heritage. I got this at the little yarn shop inside of SVRC Marketplace in Saginaw, Michigan. And we think that it goes beautifully with the purple. So my husband said his thought would be to do the lime green. And when we were talking about colors before we even left the house to go to the yarn shop, he said, I think it would be really cool to do the brim and the pom-pom in the green and have the purple background be the, did I say that wrong? The green be the brim and the pom-pom, and then the purple be the background behind the skeletons. Sorry, I probably said that right, but I don't know. I already have leftover Cascade Heritage white from the patriotic or protested patriotic shawl. I have a whole bunch of that left, so that'll be perfect in here. I'm thinking if I have enough yarn, then I'll do one the opposite way too. I should have plenty to do at least 2 hats out of this because I will hardly use any of the green, and then I'll be using white and purple for the hat. So hopefully I'll be able to make at least 2. I will try to get one done this year after I get my Musselburgh done for my friend from church. That is top priority since I promised him he would have it a year ago. Well, I didn't necessarily promise that he would have it a year ago, but we talked about it a year ago, and I kind of feel that since it really doesn't take that long to knit, I should have had it to him a year ago. My priorities just were not straight. So hopefully I'll be able to knit at least one of those this year, the Telly Bean Knits hat, and then use the leftover yarn to make another one next year. We'll see how things go because I have a lot of plans. You guys know, I know I have plans and I keep disrupting them. I still have dishcloths to make, and here we are reaching toward mid-October already, and I need quite a few more dishcloths before Christmas because I think everyone's going to get a dishcloth along with their usual gift for Christmas. So there will be more dishcloth. I should probably do those first before I do the Halloween hat, but it's October. Okay, so that's really all that I have to show you. I don't think I purchased anything else. I did not finish anything. Yesterday was a lot busier than what I thought it was going to be. And then by the time we got home, I had no energy to finish anything. And today we need to do some chores. So no finishing this week either. Hopefully next week. I don't know. But okay, so this week, just to recap, I am going to work on Witching Hour by the Prairie Schooler. I will work on it in the morning before work and in the evening when I get home after dinner. Hopefully to get the tree done and work on the house, maybe to reach up and do that alphabet. Then to work on the Musselburgh hat and hopefully get more progress on that, reaching toward a finish. It may take me a little bit longer. I don't know how much time I'm going to have in the car this week with my husband and my daughter, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll just keep going until we get to the end, and more projects will pop up, and more projects will pop up after that. So anyway, that's really all I have to share this week. All of these ideas are fluid and ongoing, and they will change by the end of the calendar year, and we'll see what happens, but hopefully I'll be able to get to some of the things that I haven't been able to get to before, and we'll see what happens. So I hope that you were able to find some inspiration this week to pick up a languishing WIP or to try something new. I hope that you get out there and get some crafting time in, or maybe some walking. Hopefully we get to go out for a walk today. And until next Sunday, bye.